Hello again, welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm back again with another video. So, this video is actually inspired by a lot of synchronicity. Oh fuck, I am very bad at pronouncing this word, but yeah, it's inspired by that. It's inspired by miracle fairy tales. There's something that one of a tarot reader wrote. She's very prophetic. Like she predict, like, yo, I just admire her. It's her name is Empress Lillian. Like she activates the shit out of you. Like she's one of that tarot reader that I'm like, what? Like like she constantly confirming what is happening, but it's not only her, because we're quite connected to one another. And there are plenty magic the gang, the cognitive connection, like the plenty of tarot readers that actually we are that I resonate with. So she wrote something like Empress Lillian. She wrote something like fairy tales are actually real. As fairy tales are actually real, that means don't believe other people who are actually bitter, who are trying to take you out of it. And I was like, okay. Initially I was like, and I was like, okay. And then I kept on seeing a lot of things about fairy tales, miracle, or like whatsoever. And I saw myself on Instagram where I was strolling, and this guy, he captured my eyes. He was wearing a short, and he was um I think he was doing a run, which is some sort of a competition, and he was so tired, he was exhausted, so he pushed himself to do run. Probably I think he mentioned in the comment, like in a caption, where he said he never like took the longest run in his life. I don't know how many miles, I just don't remember. But what I realized, I ended up clicking on his profile and end up like looking at his picture, and every picture that I'm actually grown into his caption, one of that captured my mind. It was one of the road less traveled. I selected picture, and then the caption kept on being on my mind, and the road less travel. And I've mentioned in one of my previous video that I actually read a book that road less travel. The funny part is that I forgot that I ever read that book, and here I am, I find myself going back to that book, The Road Less Travel. And I was directed to look at the chapters whereby she's talking about, I don't know, he or she, the author of the book, the road less travel. He's talking about the miracle of the unconscious, growth and religion, scientific tunnel vision. I think are those chapters that I was directed to go into. So, which is it? I'm here to actually emphasize on the fact that miracles are real. Miracles are actually something that we are meant to be experiencing in this lifetime. And I don't care how much you feel like your life is been through so much and you don't believe in miracles. Miracles are just stupid whatsoever, and that's on you. And the more you having such energy, the more you can attract a lot of things that are actually like that, because miracles do happen. Fairy tales are real, and I still believe in fairies. I do believe in fairies. The same when I was growing up, I was very much directed to watch cartoon, like, and I'm just gonna talk about a lot of cartoon that I actually resonate with this matter, what I'm actually talking about. And and as I'm talking about, like, I had a lot of download today, and some of them I didn't write, and I just hate myself for to like, I don't hate myself, but I just hate the idea that I kept on feeling like I would remember, but I did wrote them. And about fairy tales, let me just go on in. When I'm talking about fairy tales, I'm just talking about us being our own existence itself. It's a miracle. We are all here for a certain purpose. I mentioned that a lot of time. We are all called for something. We are all called for something. Whatever that you are being called for, it's something that you are being called for. The actors that actors, the writers of certain series or certain movie are people who experience whatever that they wrote about, or sometimes it's something that they see in their dreams and they ended up making it into the movie. The movie, I can say the Tinkerbell movie. When I was growing up, I was very much fond of that Tinkerbell cartoon, and it's someone else's vision, because that's something that he or she, people were responsible for writing it. It's people who saw the whole thing. And the reason why I'm gonna refer to Tinkerbell was actually, it's a fairy tale. It's fairies, and we are being programmed to believe in, not believe in fairies, believe something that is not there whatsoever. And I'm gonna say as much, movies such as cartoons and movie that are a fantasy movie that have some sort of a paranormal, it's actually our own reality. They are showing us our own reality that we forget. Obviously, it's not, but the thing is with fairies movies or whatsoever that are actually fantasy, I'm just being called to make a video to remind you that that shit is real. Our own fairies, we are creating our own fairy tales without even us being aware of that, and us being constant, because I mentioned that we are called for something. Like, we are all called for something. We are all called to do something for the humanity. We are called to do something for love, for whatsoever, for connect, for us connecting together. If you look at the Tinkerbell movie, all people, the fairies community were actually waiting for Tinkerbell to actually be born, and she was a flower, the flower that has to bloom in order to be, I don't know whether to be a fairy. And then when she was born, she was a late bloomer. All people around her have their own way, they design their own clothes. This is something that I also get download from, that the clothes that we are actually wearing, it's not a clothes that we are meant to be wearing. If you think that I'm crazy, why do, if for example, if you wear a tie, why do you take, the first thing that you do, you take your tie off whenever you're outside? It's because that tie is blocking your throat choker. That tie is not good for your own throat, like the own neck is not aligned with who you are. And another thing about our clothes, I've noticed, like, you can find the perfect jean whatsoever, pant that is actually your size, and you don't find any discomfort. But whenever you are sitting, or maybe you're wearing it for the whole fucking day, the first thing that you do, you unbutton it. Why do you unbutton it? Why do you normalize that is actually something that is normal? We are being programmed to normalize a lot of things that are actually not aligned with us. If we go back and look at Tinkerbell design her own clothes. But I'm not saying we all go to design our own clothes. But the fact that you have a certain idea that how you want your clothes to be like, obviously the designers are also sent to design clothes. But Tinkerbells, they design their own clothes. They all have their own style. Nobody is actually doing the same thing as others, because we are called to do something different. And Tinkerbell was the one who, everything that she touched, it trembled, because her gift was not yet amplified on her. They were not yet born. So whenever you are actually a late bloomer, there's a reason why your gift are not yet shown, is because you need to go through something in order to find out what is exactly working for you. She didn't know that she was good in fixing. She was still amazed with other people, because she was born late and she was the latest. Not only that, she was actually the one that is actually having a issue with finding her, like she didn't feel like she belongs. Other people knew what they're good at, they're focusing on that, because that's what we call for. We are called for something. There were fairies were called for something, to do something, and she happened to be different, and this at the same time the other were also different. It's just that her path was different from others, because we're constantly being reminded that our own path is different. So fairy tales are actually real. I still believe in fairies. Like, I'm just like that. So when I was actually going through this book, the road that is less travel, I've noticed about the importance of whereby the author talking about the synchronicities, whereby, like, I'm talking right now, I'm telling you things that I find myself grown into, to the point that I actually wrote it down until it makes sense. So that what happened whenever you are in, like, we are in a dream in this plane. We're not living in one plane. We are living in a lot of planets, not just Earth planet. There are plenty of planets with that we're actually existing on. It's not just one planet. This is another download that I get. We are not living in one planet. Some of the things that we are experiencing in this lifetime, for example, something that I'm gonna be experiencing recently is something that already happened in another planet that I exist on. I'm being called to tell you that we are not existing in one place. Just in case you are feeling frustrated that things that you want to manifest, they're not actually manifesting, it's because you are not living in one planet. In order for other things to happen, they happen in the manner that is correlational. For example, when you're like, I'm just making an example, I don't know what planet, probably parallel universe, or on this planet Earth, maybe you're also living in Jupiter, like all the planet, I'm just making an example, they need to go in order for you to be able to have the manifesting to happen. So you are not just waking up in terms of in this plane side, in this plane. When I'm talking about this plane, I'm talking about this planet, and this planet, which is Earth. It's the same, like, you are not only manifesting for this Earth, this planet, you are actually manifesting for another planet. There, you are constantly awakening to other planets too, but sometimes the other planets are more, I would say Earth planet is one of the slowest planet that we have experiencing in this lifetime. That's why you dreams about things before they happen. It's because it already happened in another planet. You are just being reminded. It's just giving a cliche, like a glimpse of what is happening, what is you gonna happen in a coming month, or coming weeks, or coming day, or whatsoever. For me, like, for example, I dream of certain actors in actually movies, and not a movie, it's actually a soap that I used to watch growing up, and then I happened to click on it, and that what exactly what is actually happening. And some people say it's deja vu. I believe it's deja vu, but it's not just deja vu. There's a reason why certain things happen. Exactly, like when I opened TV, that scene that I saw in a dream, it was something that was actually happening exactly as it is, like everything, the character and all that, they like that, how it was something that was already happened in another planet. So, and I said planet Earth, it's one of the slowest planet that we're actually experiencing in this lifetime, in our lifetime is now. And we are not living only in one planet. You see, the dogs are barking. They're just giving me more confirmation that what I'm saying is true. We are not living in one planet. So whenever you find yourself being frustrated that things are not working, that's why we're talking about cosmic. That when we are also, another download I got is that we are very much connected in astrological, cosmetic wise, because astrological, for example, my star sign is a Leo. I was born on the 30th of July, and I realized I was actually laughing. I don't know, I just got the vivid download where I was actually, it's not a download, it was another thing that I had. Yeah, it was a download because it was actually waking me up on something that I was ignoring. I've noticed most of the time, every time when August came, I usually experience anxiety. And when I was looking why I experience anxiety, I noticed the pattern with my August. Most of my August, I will usually get disappointing news. Like, I remember I got, like, I broke up with my ex in, I still remember it was 2 August. And I remember most of my breakups happened with friendship too. And not just only that, I got a job, and that job that I got, they told me that they don't see anything. When I called HR, it was like I've never existed in that, like I've never applied, I've never like done anything. Mind you, I got an email that's telling me that I am starting on 1 August. And I was like, why? Like I was like, oh fuck, like everything that is actually, most of the things that are actually happening in August, they're usually just bad news. Even if people that actually meet in August, they're usually karmic in my life. Like there's something about August that I don't know, and there's something about everything that are actually happening for me during Leo season. The only time that I actually enjoy my Leo, like example, is usually the July, but 1 of August, usually something that actually synchronicities. Oh fuck, something that actually pattern to happen. But at the same time, I'm not gonna act like I don't want change, I don't want something different from it, because honestly, are capable of changing certain things within our own life. Just like it's a miracle, your existence itself, it's a miracle. And as it miracle, we are like the fact that you are existing. How many times in your life you feel like you're not gonna be existing? How many times in your life you feel like you don't have a strength anymore to go through? You don't have, you want to give up, whether it's a career that you, or yourself, you want to give up on yourself itself. It's a miracle. Another thing, I just like I was strolling on my YouTube channel, and I was looking at the video that I want to watch, and then I came across this tarot reader. She was gorgeous, like she posed like a model. The first thing was like, oh fuck, she looked like a model. And I was like, okay, she looks so pretty whatsoever. And then I just, after like showing her like probably like an hour, she was stuck on my mind. And I was like, why is she stuck on my mind? Like, what the hell? And I was like, I was bothered by the fact that she looked gorgeous or whatsoever. Initially, that was not the first reaction that I got. Instead, I was admiring and all that. And the next thing, I was like, oh, whoa. After like an hour or so of after sewing her, and I was like, oh, the reason it's bother me, it's because I neglect myself. I stop taking pictures of myself. I stop exercising like I used to be. Like I make excuses and whatsoever. And the reason why she bothered me is because she she was there to trigger the part of myself to go back to the basic, go back to exercising. That itself is a miracle, that I have to find a reminder like that. I have to, we are that connected with one another, to the point that anything that the stranger that you meet on the road, they trigger you. Why are you being triggered by a stranger? This is something that it's your assignment. There's a reason why a stranger out of the blue, like for example, you probably went to a supermarket and you find coming across a stranger. Mind you, you're not even interacting with that stranger. It's just that you happen to be in the same place, and but there's something bothering you. Probably maybe the stranger is wearing maybe she had a lot of tattoo, maybe she looked gothic or whatsoever, and it's bother you. There's a reason why the stranger bother you. It, without you interacting with them, you don't have to interact with someone to bother you. There's a reason why you're being bothered, because we are constantly waking each other up. We are constantly waking each other up. We are constantly activating one another without even us being aware of that. Itself, it's a fairy tale. The fact that you find a stranger that you don't know, you're not even interacting with them, you don't even know how they tone, how they speak, whether they speak, but it's bother you somehow. It's because that person is sent to you. That's why you're both in one place. That is also another miracle, that a certain stranger that you don't know bother you like that, because we are not normal beings. The fact that that stranger is looking gothic, maybe she look gothic, maybe she look like a prostitute. Apparently people assume that people who wear less clothes are actually prostitute, which is very wrong. Like, it's so wrong to assume other people who wearing miniskirt is prostitution or whatsoever. It's just that the reason they bother you is because there's something in you that you are letting it sleep. You are not meant to sleep. You are meant to be awakening. And the fact that that stranger bother you, it's your assignment. I said that because we are all connected. We know what's up. Sometimes you just need to a stranger that walk by that bother you. We are not normal being. Us being normal, it was another form of how the society tried to control us. Have you ever wondered why they try so hard to make us be the same? Why they try by all means to put us in school? It's because they wanted so badly us to forget our own soul mission. They wanted us to forget our own light. Because why? They already forgotten their own light, and they're trying to make it our own problem, which is not something that is our own responsibility. You choose to disconnect to the source, to our ancestors. It's your decision. You choose to do that. That's why whenever you're going through some things, and you sometimes you don't even know that you were able to overcome them, it's because the fact that you survive them, it's a miracle. How many times you've been in the accident and you survive? How many times you've been in a place where you felt like you were in the wrong place? Like, have you ever been being a victim of being in the wrong place, and then somehow you survive? It's because it's a fairy tales. We are still dreaming. Even right now, I'm talking to you. I'm dreaming. I'm talking about things that I experienced before, and I'm talking about it now. It's something that happened, like, I don't know, maybe it's another planet, it's happening as happening right now, or maybe it's something that is actually happened, and I'm just saying it in this planet, because we're all called to be in a certain planet before this one. I'm talking about this because when my spiritual awakening was happening, I dreamt a lot of my past life. Initially, I didn't understand because I didn't have knowledge. I was isolated. I was withdrawn. I didn't want to speak to people. I was extreme in isolation. I was dreaming of my past life, places that I've been. And the funny part, I don't remember those places that I've been. It's just buildings. It's just that whenever I'm looking at a certain building from another country, there's familiarity, but I don't know why it's like that. And I was this white man in one of my past life who was extremely obsessed with art. Not just I was a architecture, like someone people build who do buildings, and I was this white man who had not slim in body. Like, I had a big stomach. I saw that in a dream. I didn't realize why I had to see that. Like, initially, it was something that I didn't know. Until now, it's just connected why I had to see that. And in another thing is, our dreams are connecting us to another planet that we exist on. That's why we tend to see a lot of things in our dreams that is gonna be something that we should be aware of. Sometimes we are being guided to be aware of our own pit, probably something that's gonna make you lose it, or maybe something that is gonna they're guiding us. our dreams are guiding us. Have you ever wondered why people who do witchcraft, they're trying whenever they are attacking you, they are attacking you spiritual, they are attacking you your spirit? It's because they know that you got, sometimes you're gonna see them, they block them. When you are dealing with spiritual warfare, whereby you're being with people are doing spell work to end you, to kill you, but the first thing that they do before they do it is they try to make sure that they block, that you don't see. There are people who say things like they don't dream anymore. It's because sometimes, yes, we are being blocked, maybe by the power of the high power for some certain reason, for a certain time, or until you're being unblocked. Sometimes people who are able, it's the first thing that they do, they block your dreams because they know that your dreams have messages. That's why sometimes you know who's gonna attack you next. This is the event that's gonna happen, you know it through your dreams. It's because you are connected. It's connect us through the spiritual, because we are all able of traveling, astral traveling. We are able to walk as spirit, to be in a place that we are able to travel in a certain place that we gonna be at, or maybe it's a past. We are able to go back to the things that bother us. Probably you are struggling with a certain pattern in your life. Maybe it's something that happened when you were a child, and you are being your unconsciousness, because in life there is a conscious mind as well as unconscious mind. The unconscious minds carry a mystery, trauma, secret, anything that we are suppressing on ourselves. And as we carry it, it give us information, whether it's um through sleep or through our own everyday thing, whereby something that like for example, I'm just gonna make one of example whereby things that bother us find it way to for us to help. Like I'm not gonna make this example either. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna make it. I'm just gonna go with that example, whereby you are not aware of the fact why you're dating certain people in different body, whereby you are dating certain people who are the same but they're different. It's just that they are the same, their soul is the same. That's something that we do unconsciously, but as we try to analyze it, because the reason why we don't see our own pattern is because of the unconscious part of ourselves that is not correlational to the conscious of ourselves. So what happened is they are both not yet aligned to be in a place where they are both correlational. Instead, they're distorted to the manner that they're not cooperating, they're disconnected. The reason why they're disconnected, sometimes it's because we're not ready to deal with things that we suppress. We are not ready to deal with whatsoever, because there's a reason why you are doing the certain things in the certain time. Is because we are required to change, we are required to do things different. That's why whenever you are having that aha moment, it's because finally everything is connected. It's not just connected in this life, in this plane. It's connected astrological, is connected through the stars, it's just connected to whatsoever. The reason why another download that I got, astrology is actually real, but you don't have to take it like so seriously, to the point that that's the only thing that you rely on. It's okay to take it serious, but it's not the only thing that you can rely on, because as much as it's astrology, there are plenty of ways that the universe try to communicate with us. There's a plenty of ways that our ancestors try to communicate with us. The reason why we have something called time, it's something that was derived from astrologers before us, the early century, the early centuries. They develop time, they develop star sign, they develop a lot of things that are actually astrological whatsoever. And I don't care that you say I don't believe in astrology. You are a fucking liar. Why do you say you were born in this time? Because that thing was derived by astrologists or whatsoever who develop it. They was developed by others, the time was developed by others, so don't act funny with me. So I'm just talking about that. And it's very much, I'm talking about, like I was talking about the experience, about myself, about the fact that August usually do what, and I didn't realize how astrological it's connected, how the pattern with it, with it. And another thing is, I wrote down here, okay, we are visitors in this plane, in this, we are dreaming as in this plane, so we borrow a body. Our spirit borrow the body in this lifetime, because in another planet we are not looking like we are looking in this planet. Like we are, like, I know I sound crazy even right now, I'm like, what the fuck. But we actually not humans in another in another planet. We are, but not exactly like these humans. There was a dream that I actually had, and in this dream I was actually attacked. Like, I think it was 2 months ago or 3 months ago, or early this year. I was attacked by an ex-friend. She was blaming me of a lot of things that was happening in her life. When I was with her, she was blaming me of her two miscarriage. She was blaming me of her misfortune. She was angry at the fact that every time she tried to put a trap on me, I ended up getting on top. The funny part, I didn't know that she was doing all of that. Isn't that a miracle that someone had planned so much for you, and then you ended up getting on top without even realizing that that friend was trapping you? And her miscarriage, it made sense now that why she had experienced miscarriage. I think it's because she was trying by all means to attack me, and that was her karma. Without, I didn't know, like, I didn't know how much she was affected by it. I didn't know that all along she was blaming for it. Probably she knew, it's just that because she was a person that never take responsibility for anything, so she has to blame it on someone, other people, to others. That how she was in that dream. As she was attacking me, it was like I was in a same city that I actually study at, but it was different. It looked like another city, but it was called this city. You know why it was like that? The location, it was a location that I went to, but it's another city. There's high possibility, like I'm telling you, the reason why people build buildings, those buildings that are actually built, it's not the building that they saw it for the first time. They saw it in another planet. They might not saw it into another planet. Maybe they are being helped by the divine beings or spiritual guides whatsoever to build that building. They are being told to build something that already seen. There's a reason why Harry Potter, the writer of Harry Potter, never got her whatsoever. The movie as well as the book was never, she never got a publishing company that wanted to publish her book. It was because it was not yet divine time for her to share that. She mentioned that she saw that in her dreams about the Harry Potter. She mentioned that she was 8, it because her mission in this lifetime was for her to share that. We are all sent, we're all called to do something, we're all sent to do something. It was her fairy tales to publish that Harry Potter, but she had to go through some things. She had to be a teacher, she had to go through divorce in order for her to be ready for that greatness. Her great her greatness. She had to experience divorce, she had to experience betrayal, she had to experience, but the dream of her writing the Harry Potter, it was something she wrote years back before anything happened. But she had to remove all of that. She had to remove she had to be divorced in order for her to thrive. She had a lot of things in her life that was supposed, but she had that dream, that 8-year-old dream. It's a fairy tale. It's something that she dreamed of. For example, when I went to university, it was not something that I never experienced before. Of course, in this lifetime, it was first thing that I ever experienced in my life, but I've saw it in my dreams before it happened. But I didn't see everything, I didn't see everything. I saw myself in class, but I didn't understand why. It more like it was in class, but it's not the same as my university class. It didn't look like same as my high school classes, so I didn't understand where this coming from, and I ended up finding myself being grown into college movies. I was watching college movies, but just didn't click that why I saw that in a dream, like why I saw myself in a dream, in that dream. And the I saw even the lecture, and I saw what was being taught in class until that dream happened. I was doing grade 10 in high school, and then it happened in real life, exactly as it was, even the outfit and everything. Just that I don't remember the hairstyle that I had, but the dream, it happened because it happened in another planet already. It's just that it had to manifest in this lifetime, in this plane, in this earth. It happened when I was doing my last year. That how weird we are, that how connected we are. It was a fairy tales because I wanted so badly to be a university student, and when it manifested, obviously it was not the dream that I wanted. But the fact that I was able to make my fairy tales to happen, it was something that we are constantly being reminded to go back to our own fairy tales, because our own fairy tales, it's whereby we had a lot of answers, and we have to answer certain things through our own fairy tales. It doesn't matter whether you feel like you're being pushed, like you feel rejected because people don't see your ideas, why they don't see whatever that you are doing. It's something that maybe you don't feel like they don't see what you're doing. Maybe you feel like it's not something that is actually align. Maybe you feel like you're being stupid, maybe you're being crazy. We're all crazy. It's just that our own craziness is something that other people are controlling us from it. The only craziness they want us to normalize is narcissistic craziness, which is psychotic and it's disturbing because it causes harm to our own humanity. But they want us to normalize it, but they don't want us to be our own self. That's why every time you find someone who's in themselves, it's bother you. That's why you find someone whenever you're going somewhere, you be like, why she's wearing that? She's wearing that because that's why she's wearing that because it's something that she felt comfortable wearing. Oh, why? Well, why she had those tattoos? Like there's so plenty of them. It's because it's what she's comfortable wearing, what she's comfortable with having. And in that dream about being attacked by a friend, I forgot the important part. Those people that I saw in a dream who helped me through, because she was this friend of mine was who was actually attacking me in a dream. It was like we're both having superpowers. We were both running on top of the buildings, and as I was able to teleport, as if you know Bella, I think it's Twilight. We were having such a vampire ability whereby we're able to teleport, and teleporting is something that is real too. We were teleporting. I was able to run away from her, but it was challenging because she was very fast. She was as much, and her drive. For me, I was not. I was trying to figure out why she's attacking me. But she had more energy than me because she knew why she was attacking me until she said it out. Because you were able to survive this, you were able, like, she had issue with me surviving all the things that she tried to pull trap on me. So in that dream, I was protected by white woman who had white hair and who was wearing, like, if you remember, like most of the Egyptian, whenever they're making movies whereby they're including Egyptian, some sort of like a old, like at the earliest movies whereby they're wearing something like, I don't know how to, like, the outfit, it's an outfit that we're meant to be wearing. It's an outfit that in our another plane we're actually wearing. We're not wearing like formal outfits. It's something that was, as much as someone is also designed, but it's not something that we should normalize wearing for a job. It's not something we should normalize. That's why whenever you are at home, the first thing that you want to be naked. Why you want to be naked? Why you want to wear your underwears only? Why you don't want to wear anything? It's because our body is designed to wear something that is actually comfortable wearing. That's why whenever you, after experiencing your spiritual awakening, a lot of clothes, they don't resonate with you anymore. No matter how much you try, it does not resonate with you anymore. The jeans, whatsoever, more probably the reason we wear a jean, you wear it sometimes. You want to wear a light clothes because that's what you're being called to wear. In that dream, those women, they were not wearing jean. They were wearing something like, if you remember the Scorpion King, the sorcerer, she was wearing something so revealing. She was also wearing something that was simple and easy. She just sleep in it, sleep on it, sleep in, like, she just wear it. We are called to wear something like that. And if you remember the Scorpion King, the main character, which is The Rock, he was wearing something like that too. It's something that, it was not just white women who was actually protecting me. There were men too, black men. But the thing with this black man as well as this woman, they had all have superpowers of some sort. As I told you, we all gifted. We are all gifted in something, and the reason why we all gifted into something is because we were meant to share it with the collective. The problem is that people who forget their mission, they're trying by all means to make us to forget, so that we're gonna live the life that was already designed by sociopath narcissist to live on, that is controlled by certain motherfuckers, and they're trying by all means to make us to forget what the mission, why we're here. They're trying by all means to find a way to not make you wake up, find you a way to stop you from waking up, stopping you from whatsoever. They're doing it in a lot of way, through food, whatsoever that makes sense to them. So in that dream, those people who was protecting me from that ex-friend from killing me, they were wearing that. And there were also a lot of black men, plenty of white women who are wearing something whitish that is light wearing, that you saw whenever there is a movie that symbolize our own ancestors, which were Egyptian, whatsoever. And the Scorpion King, it's another movie that pop up about the outfit. I'm trying to refer, but I don't remember a lot of movies that I actually watch that have this outfit. It was that outfit. The black men were having like a silver like eyes, which are not silver, like they were lighting. Do you know when movies whereby they're showing light, when a movie having that person have some certain superpowers, they were like that. This is something that is actually real. The reason why you see a certain movie have superpowers is something that they dreamt. It's something that has to be shown in our own kind to know that it exists. It in this lifetime. We are not given our superpowers in this planet. We don't have those superpowers that we actually have in another planet. The planet we exist on, we have superpowers that are beyond what we have in this lifetime. In this lifetime, maybe you are able to summon rain, maybe you are able to do a lot of supernatural. Maybe you're able to talk to fish, maybe you're able to make water move, maybe you're able to do what. Those are actually superpowers. But in the planet that we're actually existing on, we have more than these superpowers that we're actually having. The planet we are existing on is different than the planet we're actually existing on, this one. And this is another download that I got. I mentioned the miracle of the unconscious from the road less travel that I was directed to go through, and the growth, whereby I mentioned the chapters, the miracle of the unconscious, growth, because the miracle of the unconscious, it has information that we suppressed. I told you the unconscious mind has a part of ourselves that we suppress, that has information. And the chapter is the growth and religion, scientific tunnel vision. I also mentioned Harry Potter, the writer, and I forgot to mention Doja Cat Planet Her. Planet Her. If you watch Doja Cat Planet Her, there's a reason why Doja Cat created this masterpiece. What do you call it? I got shivers in my body. Let me just drink water. It seems like I'm just gonna be talking more than I think. Doja Cat had album Planet Her. Planet Her, when you're looking at it, it's about a universal energies. And when you look at most of her videos, they look so unreal. They look so out of this world. It's because it's true. What she is channeling, it's something that she saw in a dream. Is something the download just she got, just like the download that I got. It's the download that we're getting. The download that we're getting that seem crazy are the download that we are guided to share for the planet. The reason Doja Cat went about with that, even if you're watching the music videos, like na 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 get to you, na 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 get to you. If you're watching most of the music videos, they're containing information. She didn't create that out of the blue. It was something that we are being. She is activating us in a manner. You don't have to like it, but just look at the whole fucking album, watch, listen to it, look at the old, like the phases just she's went going through, look at her channeling her ancestors, look at her doing or whatsoever. She's activating us. Look at her, she's channeling aliens, because aliens are real. It's something that we need to be aware of. Aliens are actually real. That's why we are in a alien era. It's something, but that is something that is not real as much, but aliens are actually real. Okay, what another thing that I didn't cover? I think I've covered everything. Oh, we are not meant to be working. We are not meant to be working and all of that. We are not meant to be working. We are not meant to be working. Do you hear what I'm saying? We are not meant to be working. We are not meant to be wearing tie. We're not meant to be wearing that formal outfit, unless if it's something that you want and it makes sense. We are not. The fact that the first thing that you do, the thing is with our unconscious mind, is reveal us who we are before we do. It's just not suppress our own trauma. It's just not does whatsoever. It's showing us who we are. Because the first thing when you're in a restaurant, probably when you're wearing a jean, you unbutton your first button. Whether it's when you're wearing something that maybe you pull down your zip because you feel uncomfortable, or maybe you take off your heels, maybe you take off your shoes or the tie. Whenever you're getting like feeling frustrated, the first thing you adjust your tie, or maybe you unbutton a certain but like a few of your shirt button. It's the thing is with unconscious mind, it has information that we are suppressing. It has information, it has us how we can heal from something, how we can move about what is exactly we want with our own self. Our own unconscious mind it's everything that we need. But of course, because we're operating from a conscious mind, we tend to ignore the unconscious mind, and that is something that we need to be aware of. The unconscious mind as well the conscious mind supposed to be to work together. They are having a beautiful relationship, to be honest. It's just that we choose to act like they don't have a beautiful relationship. Anyway, I don't know that I'm actually making sense or I'm just rambling. But it's fine, it's okay. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to connect with my fairy tale. I'm just being grateful that I'm able to connect with the miracles of life. And I also had woke up like a few days ago, mumbling the word oasis. Oasis. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right. It's Oasis. It's a word that I woke up saying it and saying it. I thought maybe I should change my YouTube channel as in that form of a word, but I realized it's a desert. The meaning of it, it's just okay. The meaning of it, it's just telling us that we are that part of ourselves. We are fruitfully. We fertile. We are fertile. It doesn't matter where we're being put on, whether it's a place that has nothing, like it's a desert. We are constantly being fertile. Whatever we are put on, we'll always be fertile. So thank you guys for liking, for subscribing on my YouTube channel. Like, it was the longest video. Thank you. Bye.